you don't have the history coming to you in your history books. And it's awfully, like when we were taking our music education and going through school, they don't teach it to us either. And so you have to kind of like go and seek it out and learn on your own. The story of this piece is the Georgia Sea Island. Do you know where the Georgia Sea Islands are? Georgia Sea Islands are actually one of the cool places to go to if you get off the coast of Georgia. And it's an island. It's a collection of islands. And that, actually, if you look at it, it's like northern Georgia, southern, like South Carolina. Like there's a bunch of them. And there's a culture of people called the Gullah Geechee. And the Gullah Geechee people have been there for a very long time, like hundreds of years. And it's one of the few places you can go in the United States to see kind of originally Gullah Geechee or spirituals in quasi the way they would have been done back 300 years ago. Because you can't go to the middle of Tennessee and see that anymore. But you can go to the Georgia Sea Islands, and they have festivals every year in which you can see it. And I highly encourage, it's like if you can go see a powwow on a reservation, it's so worth it because you see culture in a way that you never see it in the United States. So seeing a powwow and then going to this Gullah Geechee festival, there's a couple things that you can do that are like just like awesome. So highly encouraged to do that. So this story starts in English colonies in 1619, but in Spanish colonies it's actually like the 1590s. And this is when enslaved Africans were brought over into the New World. And from 1619 in the English colonies, it was Fort Comfort, Virginia, which is right around 1607, right around Jamestown, which was settled in 1607. You all learned about Jamestown Colony, didn't you? Yeah. Okay, great. Did you learn about Fort Comfort, Virginia?
Yeah.
Oh, you do? That's awesome. That's amazing. When I was growing up, no, it was like it was not in the history books at all or taught to us. But so 1619, from 1619 then through, it was roughly 1750s in the United States, what we now know as the United States. There was a slave trade that was initiated, but in the New World it went on for several decades after that. And there was about 12.5 million people that were transported from Africa across into the New World, in which they would drop off the enslaved Africans, they would pick up things like cotton and sugarcane, and they would take it into Europe, and then they created this triangle trade. And what it created a huge amount of wealth for people. Like people got rich off of doing this. Why? Free labor. I mean, that kind of helps, right? It's just like, you know, we like teenagers working for us because we can pay you no money. And we get lots of labor for it, right? That's one way to kind of make more money is to pay you less. I say that because it's true. Do you know what I mean? But as you get older, you get paid more, right? So as you kind of get paid more. But imagine if we could hire you for no money. Like if I could hire you for no money to do work for me, I'd make lots of money. Because I would charge a boatload of money and get it for free. And that's essentially what was happening. Now, when we think about those 12.5 million people that were brought over, they're mostly your age. So sometimes you think, oh, they're adults. No, they weren't. They were mostly teenagers. Why? Because you would live longer, and we can get more out of you if we imported in younger people. Most of the 12.5 million people didn't end up in the United States, though. Do you know which country that imported the most enslaved Africans? Any guesses on that? Yeah.
80.
Where'd you say?
80.
Good, good guess. No. Where'd you say? Mexico? No.
The British was.
No. It's good. These are all good guesses. Yes.
Brazil.
It's Brazil. Brazil. About half of those 12.5 million to 13 million people went to Brazil. We don't think about that. We think we have American exceptionalism around slavery as well. But yeah, it's down to Brazil is where most were. But in the United States, what we did is that there was closer contact between blacks and whites. It was a family farming situation, whereas in Brazil, in the Caribbean, a lot of like West Indies and so on, it was kind of corporate farming. And you think about corporations versus family. As corporations, you have very few people controlling a lot of people. In the family, you have very few people controlling very few people, right? So if you think even today, like corporate farming versus family farming. Family farming is just a few people with a small acreage and they're kind of doing it. Corporate farming is they buy up thousands of acres and then they just hire it out to kind of do it. Now, what did that produce? In the New World, the United States, North America, that family farming produced much closer contacts between blacks and whites, and that's why you had kind of transmission between different musical traditions. This is where you have in this piece, you can hear it, there's blue note traditions. You have notes that are bent down, flat thirds, flat sixths, flat even occasionally flat fives and so on. So that blue note tradition mixed in with hymn singings. Now, how did the United States get so many enslaved Africans? Because it did. We had a lot. And that was through a forced breeding program. They would force people to breed, and they would kind of create new slaves through that. That's horrible to hear, isn't it? Mm-hmm. So the reason why I say this is that the music itself is a means of survival. We think of this song, yonder come day, day is breaking, yonder come day. It's like this happy-go-lucky thing. But that becomes slightly tilted to minstrel music. Do you know the difference when we say minstrel music? Minstrel music was created during the Jim Crow era to make fun of black people. It's wildly offensive. And everything I just did, you don't do. Right? I sing it chipper, and I snap my fingers. In singing spirituals, you never snap your fingers. That's not something you know. That's a performance practice standpoint. You can clap your hands. That's totally fine. But doing this is wildly offensive. The other thing with spirituals is that it's a shuffle. Yonder come day, day is a breaking. So my feet are lifting up to the ground. Down my soul. This comes from a West African traditional ring ceremony. And they would just walk in a circle like this. And you could literally go to the Georgia Sea Islands today, and you can see them do this. Yonder come day, day is a breaking. Yonder come day, oh my soul. Yonder come day, day is a breaking. Right? You see what I just did there? Now, if you do all of these things, all of a sudden it's going to sound much more in context. I'm just taking the history so that you know this isn't just a happy song. We're singing so we can survive. We're singing so because I didn't have much food today. I was forced to work 14 hours in the hot southern sun. I mean, gosh, you're in a really interesting place in Cincinnati, right, with the Ohio River there. Mm-hmm. When I was here last year, and I don't want to cry, so I'm not going to, but I might. When I was here last year, I walked down to the Ohio River. And that was a river which my ancestors crossed. Mm-hmm. And that was a moment for me. And I had no idea. I was like, oh, I'm just going to walk down the Ohio River. And I was like, holy crap. Mm-hmm. That had so much meaning. That what an important piece of geography that you have just like right there. Yeah. So easy to take it for granted. But I'm just like sobbing. Like, gee, that has so much meaning to me. Because both my families descended from slavery. So you put all of that into context, you will sing it. 100% guarantee you. I'm wondering if we can go back to the beginning of this. And I am going to make you stand up, I'm sorry. Yeah. Can we stand up?
Don't apologize.
And I want you to shuffle as we're doing this. And so shuffling is you don't pick up your feet, you slide your feet. Young day. And it's hard to, I guess you can shuffle in place, it's hard to shuffle in place. I want you to actually move. And it's okay if we kind of walk around.
So
close. Go this way. We'll squeak. Yeah. Can we just start singing the beginning of this? Ready? 2, here we go. Yonder come day, yonder come day, yonder come day. Sun is rising in my soul. Yonder come day, yonder come day, yonder come day. Sun is rising in my soul. Yonder come day. Yonder come day, yonder come day, sun is rising in my soul. What's up there?
Opened up, like even just my voice, everything was more confident and open.
Yeah. Awesome. That is an amazing feeling. Good for you, good for you. What else did you feel? I felt nothing. Yes?
I felt like it did have like a slightly more somber tone to our singing while we were doing it.
Yes. Yeah. Good. Yes.
I think, like I kind of felt like a more of a connection, like with the piece.
Yeah. All of a sudden it makes more sense, right? Because we're saying, yonder come day, yonder come day, sun is rising in my soul. Why? Like, what does that mean? Sun is arising in my soul. I mean, if you think about it explicitly, like without trying to like infer too much, we were talking about the sun is rising. What happened, what time of day does the sun rise? Okay, good, okay. And so we're talking about morning, the sun is rising, and we're also talking about in my soul. So morning, maybe a rebirth, a renewal, right? Why? Because maybe yesterday was awful. And so here comes a new day, and my soul is going to be revived in this new day. Do you know what I mean? Good.
Day is a breaking. And the offbeats and spirituals, they have an agogic accent. So you're used to an accent. We say an accent, it means to like hit the note. Yonder come day, day is a breaking. That's an accent, isn't it? Right? From what we're used to, all that stuff. The agogic accent swells. Yonder come day, day is a breaking. So what I did there? Day is a breaking. Yonder come day, oh my soul.
That's on the beat, isn't it?
Oh my soul, oh my soul. So it's not punchy, it's more relaxed.
Can I have the, it's the basses that sing that, right?
Yonder come day, day is a breaking.
We just said that basses, 1 and 2.
Yonder come day, day is breaking.
The day is a breaking. Once you get that turn.
Yonder come day, day. Yonder come day,
Day. You change your tone. I don't know why you did that.
yonder come day, day is a breaking.
Try that 1 and go.
Yonder come day, day is breaking.
Yeah, good. I hear this day is a breaking. Nice little, that's a good old country scoop there. But I don't think you need that.
Yonder come day, day, day is a breaking.
Because that's the moment, isn't it? Yonder come day, day is a breaking. Yonder come day, oh my soul, right? This is a new day.
Yonder come day, day is a breaking.
I did that wrong. At least I caught myself.
Yonder come day, day is a breaking.
Try that. Ready and go.
Yonder come day, day is breaking.
Yeah, I like that so much better. Can you even energize it more? Yonder come day, day. I feel like the sound stops there. Can you just sing that out? Can everybody sing that line?
Yes.
You all have that. Sometimes you're like, well, might be a little low. Just try it, ready? Everybody on that line. Ready and go.
Yonder come day, day is breaking. Yonder come day, oh my soul. Yonder come day, day is breaking. Sun is rising in my soul.
Good. You split the parts that was magical. That was good. That was good. Do you feel that differently? Yeah, I like that so much. The other thing that we can all do on these offbeats, these syncopation, is that you can sing on the back side of the beat. In other words, pitch. You know, if I were to play this note, I can sing that note slightly sharp, I can sing that note slightly flat, and it'd still be that note, right? So there's some variability in pitch. We also have variability in time. You can be in time, you can be slightly ahead of time, you can be slightly behind the beat, and still be on the beat. In this music, we need to be slightly behind the beat.
Yonder come day, day is a breaking. Yonder come day, oh my soul. Versus yonder come day, day is a breaking. Yonder come day, oh my soul.
Same tempo, just slightly different placement of the beat. How do you do that? Because this is the hardest thing to teach. It should feel like it's getting slower, even though it's not. So when you're singing, you'd be like, I'm gonna try and make it feel like it's getting slower. And it won't be getting slower. Does that make sense? It's always give me yes or no, because if you don't respond, then I'll go home and cry.
Same.
Yeah, right? It's like, it's okay if it's no. It's like, I don't understand, I totally fine. But some respond. Can we just try can we have everybody sing the melody there, and then you can split the parts where you feel like it's necessary.
Yonder come day, day is a breaking.
Make it feel like it's getting slower. Roll 1, 2, here we go.
Yonder come day, day is breaking. Yonder come day, oh my soul. Yonder come day, day is breaking. Sun is rising in my soul.
Good. Does that feel differently to you? Because it feels differently to me. Like, it feels like it's got a little bit of a groove to that. I like that a lot. Can we then add your own